I think that our revival is going to depend on not simply listening for what God wants us to do. That's very important. But also to understand what the devil is up to, right? And the devil in the film is called the dragon. That's the dragon in the dragon's prophecy. It refers to a passage in the book of Revelation where the dragon is at war with the woman. The woman represents Israel, and the woman is pregnant, representing the Messiah, representing Jesus. Now, the key point is that the devil cannot defeat God. So what the devil does, the devil figures out what is important to God. Let me go and ruin that, and this will give me some revenge. So if you look at Genesis 1, why does the devil target Adam and Eve? Adam and Eve didn't do anything to the devil. The devil has no grievance against them, but the devil knows that Adam and Eve are God's cherished creation. So, all right, let me ruin them. This will give me the last laugh on God. For the same reason, the devil picks on the Jews. If the Jews are God's chosen people, let's drive them out from their ancestral homeland. Let's reverse this recongregation of the Jews in Israel. Let's send them away from the river to the sea. Not only that, let's take their holiest place, the temple that Solomon built, which was apparently on the site where Abraham was ready to sacrifice his son Isaac. Let's take that site and put an Islamic victory arch on top of it called the Dome of the Rock, with an adjoining mosque called the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And so it's almost like the devil himself has descended and said, let me occupy the holiest place in Judaism and Christianity. And look, this is not just biblical speculation. You can go stand in the middle of Jerusalem and you're staring at the temple. So this is an actual historical monument that is still standing, administered by the Islamic authorities, and Jews are forced to now pray on the edge of it, the so-called Wailing Wall. That's the closest that they can get to the temple.
And there's so much archaeological evidence for what we believe. Being a born again Christian, our faith isn't blind. And the fact that we're watching biblical prophecy happen in our lifetime, and I've been watching it since I was saved, but there is a verse in Revelation which I find interesting. And you had talked about the Dome of the Rock being on top of the mount. However, there is a verse in Revelation that talks about leaving the outer courts to the Gentiles. And I was curious, as far as mapping does of that area where the Solomon's temple was, would the Dome of the Rock be considered right there where the temple was, or would that be considered the outer courts?